Sit and chill. Yeah, yeah.
Tell somebody he cares. He cares. Now say God cares. Come on. Somebody need to hear that. God cares. God cares. I'm so glad.
To know He cares.
I'm so glad.
I'm so glad to know He cares.
I'm so glad to know He cares.
I'm so glad to know He cares.
I'm so glad.
I'm so glad to know He cares.
I'm so glad.
I'm so glad to know He cares.
Lean over and tell somebody God cares. Say God.
God cares.
Thank you, God. He cares. He
cares.
He cares.
He cares.
He cares.
He cares.
He cares. How do I know He cares? Follow the praise team because I can say this. He loves me. That's why I know He cares. He loves me. That's why I know He cares, Barbara. He loves me. Anybody know God loves you? He loves me. But this other part, Sister Gilmore, I love Him. Say a praise team, I love Him. Thank you, God. Come on, everybody say, I love Him. Since He cares for me so much, I love Him. Thank you, Holy Ghost. Everybody say, I love Him. Lift your hands and shout, I love Him. Woo! Lift your hands and shout, I love Him. Yes, I do. I love Him. He loves me. He loves me. He loves me. He loves me. And I love Him. I love Him. I love Him. I love Him. I worship Him. I worship Him. I worship Him. Last time God cares. And He's working it out. Hallelujah. 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 We are also compares about with so great cloud of witnesses. Let us lay aside every weight and the sin which does so easily beset us. Let us run with patience the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of God. Amen. Just for a few moments, I want to talk from the subject, what are you laying aside? What are you laying aside? My brothers and sisters, as we are now at the end of this year, 2022, God has allowed us to make it to the 18th day of December, 2022, the last month in the year. And my brothers and sisters, many of us, we begin to make some New Year's resolutions. And then there is even a crowd, Deacon Fluker, that suggests to us, and by telling us who they are going to cut off. Those of you who are on social media, amen, you see people posting about who they are going to cut off. But my brothers and sisters, amen, I don't want to deal simply with the who we're going to cut off, but I want to deal with the what we're going to cut off. My brothers and sisters, I understand that we need people in this world. You need people to make it in this world. I know we sing the song, long as I got King Jesus, I don't need nobody else, but that's one of the biggest lies ever been told. You need Jesus and people, because the only hands God has is our hands. The only feet God has is our feet. So if you're going to want to get rid of people, amen, who's going to be a channel to bless you? God has to use people. How many of you know God has to use people? And I understand what we are simply trying to say, because how many of you know there are some folk in your life that perhaps aren't any good for you? Amen, my brothers and sisters. But I also want us to look at this from this perspective, that my brothers and sisters, even Judas yet had a purpose in the ministry of Jesus. Y'all do know who Judas was. Judas was one of the disciples who betrayed Jesus for some pieces of silver. My brothers and sisters, but I want to share with you today that you don't have to worry about the Judases that are in your life, because the Judas in your life will eventually hang himself. You do know in the Bible that Judas eventually hung himself. He went out there in the field of blood and he hung himself. But my brothers and sisters, I want to share with us today, not who are you cutting off, but what are you cutting off? Because I discovered, amen, if you learn the what, you'll understand the who. Do I have any help in there, somebody? If you learn the what, you will understand the who. My brothers and sisters, people often say, well, you know, I cut them off. But they don't tell you the whole story. People tell you half of the story. I've discovered, brothers and sisters, that a broke clock is still right twice a day. I've understand in my life, saying the case, not to just necessarily try to cut everybody off, but I've learned in my life to categorize people. Don't cut them off, but